Alright, the time has come to post my first full-length YouTube video. I've been teasing this on my other social media platforms for a couple weeks now, and I thought what better way to start it than ranking these different 2024 diss tracks. It has been a whirlwind of a year for hip-hop, with the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef and others taking jabs at Drake as well, and then the Chris Brown and Quavo beef as well. So I'm going to rank all of these diss tracks, S being the best, obviously, and D the worst. We start off with Rick Ross's diss of Drake, which I thought was pretty solid. Basically taking Drake's black card away, poking fun at his, cutting corners in the fitness realm, stuff like that. I thought it was pretty good. I'm going to put it in the B tier. All right, next we have J. Cole's Might Delete Later diss of Kendrick Lamar, 7-minute freestyle. I thought this was pretty weak. I didn't think the content was very good. Obviously, J. Cole ended up going on stage at a concert a couple days later and apologizing to Kendrick and then removing the diss from streaming services. Pretty weak move by a pretty highly regarded rapper. I'm going to put it in the D tier. I thought it was pretty weak. Next, we have 616 in LA, a Kendrick Lamar diss of Drake, which I thought was really good. Basically, Kendrick saying that he has inside information of Drake's OVO crew, which probably came to a surprise when Drake first heard this song. And, despite being a good diss, I thought the song was sonically pleasing as well. Like, a really good sample, Kendrick rapping his ass off. I thought it was really solid. I'm going to put it at the high B tier, a little bit better than Rick Ross's diss of Drake. We have Quavo's diss of Chris Brown next, Tender. Honestly, a really good track sonically, like, gives that 2016 to 2018 Migos vibes. But as a diss track, I don't think he really said a whole lot. I'm going to put it in the D tier as a diss track. Pretty good song, though. Catchy. Next, we have the Taylor Made freestyle, which is the AI diss of Kendrick Lamar that Drake made using Tupac and Snoop Dogg, who are two of biggest Kendrick's influences to diss him. I thought it was pretty weak. Probably has Pac rolling over in his grave. I'm going to put it in the D tier. Next, we have Drake's Push-Ups, which I thought was one of his best diss tracks during the beef of Kendrick. I thought he added some good stuff in there, some pretty disrespectful stuff. I'm going to put it in the B tier with 616 in LA and Champagne Moments. I thought it was pretty solid. Nothing special, though. We have next another Quavo diss track of Chris Brown. This one I thought was a lot better. Basically, calling Chris Brown a woman beater, stuff like that. I thought it was pretty solid. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I didn't think it was quite A tier worthy, but definitely, a good response to Chris Brown's first diss track a couple days prior to that being released. Next is Family Matters by Drake, which I thought was his best performance of the entire beef with Kendrick Lamar. I thought the music video was pretty cool. He had the Good Kid, Mad City van pictured in the album cover, crashing into things. I thought it was pretty solid. I'm gonna put it in the B tier as well. I think it was pretty good. Actually, I'll put it in the A tier. I think it was pretty solid. All right, next we have Not Like Us, which is kind of the song of the summer vibes. Never thought I would see Kendrick on a DJ Mustard beat to try to diss Drake, which, is a very unorthodox sounding diss track. It doesn't sound very hard-hitting, but, that classic A minor refrain is very iconic at this point. I thought this was a really solid diss track, even though it has a very fun nature to it. It's going to go up in the A tier as well. Euphoria was one of the first diss tracks Kendrick released of Drake. I thought this was another really solid one. Some pretty hard jabs at Drake and his, Ozempic taking, his black card, stuff like that. I thought it was pretty solid. It's going to go up in the A tier as well. Not Like Us, which is kind of one of the first things that started this whole beef, despite having the first-person shooter thing happening where J. Cole claimed that Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick were the Mount Rushmore of hip-hop over the last decade or so, in which Kendrick replied unlike that it's just him at the top, which I would agree with. But in terms of a diss, other than that, he didn't really say a whole lot. It is a really catchy song, really good beat, but as a diss track, I didn't think it was that strong. It's going to be C-tier diss track. All right, next we have Meet the Grams. Honestly, in my opinion, this is one of the best diss tracks of all time. The structure of it is so unique where he addresses a different family member each verse, and then at the end is addressing Drake himself about his pedo allegations, his drug addiction, gambling addiction, all of these things, and the fact that he needs to go take care of his family and not be out in Turks and Caicos popping pills and fucking random bitches, right? Stuff like that. I thought it was super, super disrespectful, all the stuff that he was saying. And you could just hear the anger and passion in Kendrick's delivery. Like, that just made it so much more eerie. And then you have the Alchemist on the beat, creating like a perfect beat to match with this song. I just thought everything about this diss track was that of the greats, like No Vaseline, and stuff like that, Ether. I think it's up there with those type of diss tracks. It's going to go in the S tier for me, one of the best diss tracks of all time. And then last we have Weakest Link, which is Chris Brown's diss of Quavo. I thought this was super solid as well. Probably one of the best and overlooked of this year. Basically telling Quavo that he wishes Takeoff didn't die and Quavo died instead, and that he's the weakest link amigos, and that he fucked his bitch, all that type of thing. Hitting him in all the spots that hurt. I thought it was a super solid diss. It's going to go in the A tier, up with the 2 Kendrick Lamar disses and Drake's best diss of Kendrick in the A tier. All right, so that's how I'd rank all these diss tracks from 2024. Let me know what type of content you want to see in the future. I'm going to try to get one full-length YouTube video out a week, so let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Other than that, that's all I got for today. Deuces.